So how good is five-star quarterback commit Gunner Stockton? Well, I saw him for the second time recently this past weekend, and I've got clips from his Hustle Inc. 7-on-7 practice so you can see for yourself right here. So let's jump on into it. So first off, I have to say that this past weekend at practice, he did not have his top two wide receiver targets. Denylon Morissette, obviously a four-star wide receiver from Brookwood, and Kojo Antwi, another major Georgia target. He's a four-star wide receiver from Lambert. So he didn't have his best weapons with him, but it's easy to see how sharp he was during practice. Again, he's not the biggest guy at all, barely 6 foot, about 220 pounds though. He's very thick, strong in the lower body, and what makes him so good, what makes him a five-star, is his ability to run and make plays with his feet. Obviously, you won't be able to see that in these clips, but you can see his arm. Now, he doesn't have the Matthew Stafford, Jacob Eason type of arm strength, but he can make all the throws. There's no doubt about it. He can put some zip on the ball when he needs to. He can fit it into tight windows, but he can also push the ball deep consistently downfield and do it accurately. He throws a very catchable ball. And remember how many drops we saw from Matt Stafford throws or Jacob Eason throws. That's not really going to happen with Gunner, although he can throw the ball pretty fast when he needs to and put some velocity on it. But again, he just throws a very, very catchable ball, and I think that's going to translate very well in Athens. One of his big targets was there, though, Oscar Delp, a four-star tight end from West Forsyth, another major Georgia target. He's really the only tight end target that Georgia is actively pushing hard for right now. And I'll talk about him a little bit later. But the question I continue to get as I watch more of Gunner Stockton is, how does he compare to Brock Vandagriff? And I'll be honest, I love Brock's size a little bit more, but that's not really going to impact Gunner as much. It's not like he's, Stetson Bennett out there or anything like that. He's not overly big, he's not overly tall, but he does have muscle on him. I wouldn't say he is small, especially because of the muscle he has, especially in his lower body, but he doesn't have the height. He doesn't have the length that maybe Brock Vandagriff had and other quarterbacks before him. But as it relates to just arm talent, arm strength, I think they're very similar. I wouldn't say either has elite arm strength. I think they're both more accurate than they are, a big, giant 70-yard passer down the field. But what Gunner brings to the table, and Brock had this too, but his footwork, his ability to throw guys open, how well he knows the position, making the right reads, getting off your first receiver, looking towards the second one, and his ability to just make plays. I think even watching him as a freshman make all those plays for Rabun County, I thought he played like Johnny Manziel. He just had that it factor, the ability to create plays when one breaks down and turn it into a big play. The ability to maneuver past one or two defensive linemen or linebackers coming at you, continue to look downfield and make a play big down the field for a big gain. So that's just what he does. He's a playmaker at quarterback. He knows what he's doing from a fundamental standpoint, a technical standpoint. He's very quick with his release. He gets the ball out quick. He knows exactly where he wants to put the ball. He's very accurate, but at the same time, he knows how to make plays with his feet as well, and he can create. And we saw Brock do that last year, but not as much because he had a banged-up knee. But if you go back and watch all of the Brock Vandagriff highlights that we put out, we saw him 6 or 7 times, so there's plenty of highlights there. But he was able to move a little bit too, and I can only imagine how good he is going to be once he is full strength and is able to run the way Gunner Stockton has been running the past 3 years at Rabun County. I think close to 600 rushing yards last year, close to 4,000 passing. The guy just does it all. And you can see with some of these passes here, he can complete passes at every level. He checks down when he needs to. It's not something he wants to do. But if that's the right option and that's where he needs to go with the football, he'll get it there. But he can also, hit the curl route for 10 or 12 yards on a, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. He can pick those up. He's great at throwing across the middle. The post route, I saw him hit a number of those recently. So it's been fun watching Gunner in these Hustle Inc. practices because he's growing as a quarterback. He's working with Tony Ballard, one of the best QB trainers in the country. Really, he works out of the Atlanta area and has developed and coached some of the best quarterbacks that have come through the state of Georgia recently. And he's been working with Gunner Stockton for a long, long time now. And Gunner just continues to get better and better and better. Knows how to put touch on the ball, can throw it with zip. And again, he's a coach's son. He's a smart kid, just like Brock. Those kids are going to know the playbook inside and out as soon as they can. They're students of the game, and it wouldn't surprise me if both of them turned out to be coaches one day if they decide not to be professional hunters and fishermen after their football career. But both know the game so well. And Gunner has the ability to do the same thing, and he's already a developed passer, but he's just something he continues to work on more and more, and I do think he has a very, very special future ahead of him. Did quickly want to talk about Oscar Delp, the guy that you're seeing mostly in these highlights, 6'5", 220. He and Gunner talk all the time about possibly playing together in Athens one day. Those two are very close. So just want to give out a quick shout out to Oscar Delp, the big Georgia target. He lives right down the road from me. I've seen him a number of different times. If you want the very latest on Oscar Delp's recruitment, you know Dawg Post is definitely the place to go. We have all the behind-the-scenes scoop on Oscar's recruitment and where Georgia stands there. And as you can see, the chemistry between the two is at an all-time high. They don't miss practice. Those guys are constantly working together each and every practice. And I do think that it could possibly translate very well to Athens if Oscar does choose Georgia down the road. He's got a bunch of offers. They're going to have to beat out Florida, Michigan, Clemson, South Carolina, where he has family ties. Clemson is where he has family ties. He has family ties to Michigan as well. So there's a lot of schools in the mix. It's not a complete slam dunk that Oscar commits to Georgia at all. No, I don't care where you read elsewhere. They're going to still have to fight and recruit him in order to land his signature. But he does have a nice chemistry with Gunner Stockton, as you're seeing it right here. So two guys to definitely know. And again, we're going to have more highlights of Gunner Stockton coming your way. These are just practice clips. We're going to have more 7-on-7 tournament clips with them in action as soon as we can and throughout the spring. So guys, I really appreciate y'all watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next video coming up right now, and I will see you over on the website.